When my sister drop-kicked an elderly woman into a stack of heirloom tomatoes at the Willowbrook Farmers Market, I wasn't surprised. Concerned? Yes. Mildly impressed? Definitely. But surprised? Not at all. Because while the world saw Elena as my soft-spoken, herbal tea-loving, cardigan-wearing sister with a passion for gardening and NPR podcasts, I knew something they didn't. She once took down a Lithuanian double agent using only a soup spoon. The real twist? The woman she just incapacitated was none other than Beverly Cranston, president of our neighborhood HOA, Chaos and Capri Pants, and someone with a vendetta larger than her solar-powered flamingo collection. In that exact moment, as Beverly flailed in the fruit and shouted about bylaws and battery, two things became abundantly clear. First, this would absolutely be on YouTube before dinner. Second, Elena had just broken the cardinal rule of deep cover: never let the HOA get involved. It had all started like a typical Saturday in Willowbrook, overbearingly wholesome. The sky was an impossible shade of blue, someone strummed acoustic Ed Sheeran near the beat stand, and a Labrador in a bandana sniffed aged cheddar like it had a sommelier certificate. Elena and I had just overpaid for some kombucha when I noticed her posture shift. Not dramatically, but enough. Her eyes scanned. Her responses went from sentences to one-word answers. I knew that look. Her internal assassin had just activated. Then I saw Beverly, wearing her signature salmon pink polo, pleated khakis, and an expression that suggested the Constitution started with Article 1, "Thou shalt not park on grass." Beverly clutched her clipboard like a dagger and had already spotted Elena. Normally, Elena played the role of suburban yoga enthusiast flawlessly. But today, she slipped. She handed something small to the bead vendor, something quick, barely noticeable. But Beverly noticed. "Excuse me." Beverly barked, pointing a perfectly manicured finger. "Did you just hand that man something?" Because that looked suspiciously like an unauthorized solicitation. Elena offered her a serene smile that translated to, "Please stop talking, or I will end you." "Just a thank you note," she said, already steering us away. But Beverly wasn't done. "Is that kale certified organic? Are you licensed to distribute samples within the HOA market perimeter?" And then, as Beverly lunged to grab Elena's arm like she was detaining a criminal over leafy greens, Elena reacted. It happened in a blur. She pivoted, shifted her weight, and flipped Beverly over her hip into a pyramid of heirloom tomatoes. The resulting splat was cinematic. Tomatoes burst. A child gasped. Beverly landed with a dramatic crunch and let out a squeal that could shatter glass. Silence fell. Then Beverly, dripping in tomato pulp, shrieked about security cameras and assault. She pointed a trembling finger at Elena as if she'd unmasked the Zodiac killer. Elena didn't flinch. She sighed. "Great. I just blew cover over an HOA dispute." What?" I asked, confused. "We need to disappear. Now." 3 men in suits appeared, moving through the crowd like synchronized sharks. Not security. Something else. They weren't filming the chaos. One was making a call. Elena cursed, and she never curses. "You need to leave. Now. This is going to get complicated." And then she vanished into a crowd of retirees arguing over beet prices. Hours later, Elena hadn't returned. Her phone was dead. Karen had already posted on the HOA forum about filing charges for aggravated leaf assault. I was spiraling when I got the Willowbrook HOA newsletter. An article on garden gnomes included the line, "Even the quiet ones can be agents of chaos." That was Elena. The next morning, for precise knocks rattled my door. Through the peephole, 2 suited men with clipboards stood silently. They claimed to be from the Willowbrook HOA Special Oversight Committee. Sounded fake. Felt real. The one with slicked back hair asked if I had a moment to discuss the kale incident. I lied. Said Elena had gone on a yoga retreat. Offered banana bread. They declined. Asked if she had ties to non-local agencies. Like the Girl Scouts? I joked. No response. They left me with a pamphlet titled "Recognizing Subversive Behavior in Your Neighborhood" and a cartoon of a tomato vendor looking suspiciously like my sister. I called every number Elena had ever given me, including the one for emergencies involving bees. Nothing. So, I went to the one place secrets always leaked, the community clubhouse on bingo day. There, I saw Beverly, now in a wheelchair and neck brace she absolutely didn't need, telling neighbors she saw Elena hand off something that glowed. She claimed someone asked if she'd traveled to Belarus. I knew then. I had to break into her house. Karen's garage code was 1234. Obviously. I slipped in while her poodle was barking at the mailman. Her house smelled like judgment and lavender. In the basement? Not normal. A full-blown surveillance hub. Monitors, maps, folders labeled things like suspicious lawn behavior. One folder, suspicious behavior, loss and S filled with photos of Elena. Gardening, stretching, talking by the duck pond. One picture stood out, her hand off at the beet stall. The object glowed faintly. What are you doing in my basement? I spun. Birdwatching. In a basement? Urban birdwatching. I blurted the truth. Told her about the suits. The surveillance. That whatever Elena handed off wasn't a thank you note. Beverly was quiet. Then she muttered, I knew it. This neighborhood is a ticking time bomb of unregulated behavior. She showed me a zoomed image, a man reflected in a parked car's window. Watching Elena. One of the suited men. We're being watched, she said. And your sister isn't who she says she is. A red light blinked on her monitor. Incoming signal. Someone was accessing her surveillance system. They're probing the grid, Beverly said. Why do you even have a grid? I asked. You think you win Yard of the Month without counterintelligence? She showed me another feed. Elena jogging past the duck pond, receiving something from a man feeding geese. She hid it in her ponytail. Beverly had labeled him Crouton Stranger. 3 sightings. Not a resident. Then she pulled a folder labeled Operation Lawn Enforcement. A map marked with red circles, my house, Elena's, and the mayor's. Apparently, motion sensor flamingos were suspicious. Then came the knock. A group of elderly women with brownies. Bingo squad, Beverly hissed. They weren't here for sweets. They were the HOA's secret intelligence wing. Beverly had been blacklisted after reporting unauthorized tulips. Then came a bark. The poodle was back. But not alone. Garage door creaked. We grabbed a spatula and whipped cream can. Then, it's me, whispered a voice. Elena dropped from the attic like a ninja. I'm here to explain. You drop-kicked me. Beverly snapped. Elena ignored her. Karen's being tracked. She has the only unencrypted facial recognition key from that surveillance footage. Excuse me. Beverly blinked. Your dog is the key, Elena said. His GPS collar synced to your smart home. The footage caught a face, an arms broker known as the ferret. Your system encoded it. Now it's embedded in your network. Beverly fainted into a chair. The monitor flashed coordinates. They're coming, Elena said. 10 minutes. The plan? Send Fluffless Collar to Vegas. Fake Beverly's escape. Set a trap. Beverly objected. You want to use Fluffless as bait? Just as Collar, Elena clarified. We staged a block party. Agent Royce, Elena's handler, arrived in board shorts. You've got an hour before they realize it's a decoy. 2 men posed as electricians. Wrong shoes. Black tactical boots. Elena cut their comms. I stalled Beverly on stage. Chaos erupted. 1 man ran. Another reached under a table. Karen, mid-speech, gestured with a sparkler. The crowd was mesmerized. Then fight. Royce tackled one. Elena flipped another. A third, posing as a balloon artist, fired a dart at Beverly. I hurled mini quiches. The dart hit a flamingo. Then Fluffless, who Beverly refused to send to Vegas, attacked. A barking missile. Karen screamed, tackled the attacker. Balloons burst. Glitter rained. 3 men detained. Karen stood, declared victory. Later, Royce debriefed us. Elena would be reassigned. Iceland. Beverly received a personalized medal. Do I get to stay HOA president? She asked. No, Elena said. But you can add a second flamingo. Karen gasped. Elena hugged me goodbye. Quiet. Final. As she disappeared into the black SUV, I knew I'd never see her the same again. A week later, I was elected HOA president. Rule 1. No drones without permits. Rule 2. Poodles get free treats at every meeting.